Good morning. I'm Sergeant Bill Glogauer, the United States Air Force Military Airlift Command, welcoming you to Sherry Zedek's Veterans Shabbat. This Veterans Day Shabbat is very different and more special than our previous Veterans Shabbats. It is one we will remember for the rest of our lives. Today, we are honoring all our Sherry Zedek veterans who serve stateside, abroad, in peace, and in harm's way. Since this is the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, we are especially pleased to be honoring the greatest generation, the veterans of World War II. And while we were talking about service, we would especially like to honor our two security guards, Roger Radcliffe, who is a veteran, and Peter Banks. Please rise, if you can, for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, I would like to present Captain Donald Wagner, United States Army Military Police Corps. Captain Wagner served in the Military District of Washington, D.C., Pentagon Office of the Provost Marshal from 1970 to 1972. He was in charge of AWOL deserter apprehension operations, White House liaison, and lost and stolen weapons operations. He was awarded the Army Commendation Medal and other citations. Captain Wagner resides in West Bloomfield with his wife of 50 years, Dottie. Not only is she a past president, but Dottie was the first woman to be the president of Congregation Sherry Zedek. Captain Wagner, sir.
Shabbat Shalom. I am honored and privileged to be standing before you, even if virtually, and to chair this 11th anniversary of our congregation's Veterans Shabbat, and to also have the opportunity to celebrate with you the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. On behalf of myself and Dottie personally, and our entire congregational family, I express our most heartfelt gratitude, thanks, and appreciation to all our veterans, those with us today, as well as those who have left our ranks, for their service, and particularly on this memorable and auspicious occasion, those veterans of the greatest generation that served in World War II. On this particular Shabbat, I am quite sure that starting with Bill and the speakers that follow, the references to our anniversary and the greatest generation will most appropriately resonate many times. On behalf of all the veterans, I want to thank all the members of the Veterans Shabbat Committee, including the clergy, staff, and officers of our synagogue. And a special thanks to committee members Bill Glogauer, Eileen Glogauer, Larry Katz, Aaron Brumbaugh, General Donald Schenk, and our Executive Director Bob Rich and his dedicated team, Marcy Irie, Elise Gechter, and Nadav Pace Greenapple, for their dedication and the hundreds of hours they have spent meeting the challenges of our environment. Their efforts and the hours they have spent in designing and preparing and producing this well-deserved tribute to our veterans is what has made it possible. Each year at this time, we remind ourselves of our history, and that history, the memories and the names don't change from year to year. The Jewish war veterans, like all great veterans of our country, starting with the War of Independence through 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, have served with pride, dignity, and valor. They have given unselfishly of themselves, sacrificed their safety while leaving the comfort and security of their homes and their families, to serve with determination and courage in protecting our freedom and our way of life. They served in dangerous places with names like Normandy, Guadalcanal, Incheon, Khe Sanh, and Kabul. Such names indelibly etched in our memories, and we know perpetually etched in the memories of all future generations. On this very special 75th anniversary, we salute the World War II veterans for their part in the victory that brought an end to tyranny and oppression, liberated the camps, and ended the Holocaust. And we salute all veterans who followed in their footsteps. We have faith that all future citizen soldiers will likewise follow their example. As often recited in difficult times and with the utmost reverence, on behalf of a grateful nation, we salute you and thank you for your service, for your sacrifices. We owe you a debt that can never be repaid. God bless all our veterans, their families, our congregation, and the United States of America. It is now my honor to introduce someone who does not need an introduction to Jewish war veterans or this congregation, the Chief of Staff and Senior Officer of the Jewish War Veterans for the Department of Michigan, Brigadier General Donald Schenk. General Schenk has a distinguished military career that spans 3 decades of service to the nation. Commissioned as an armor officer in 1971, he led tank formations in peace and war, from platoon to division levels. As an original member of the Army Acquisition Corps, he led some of the most important Army and Marine Corps modernization programs, enhancing the warfighting capability of our armed services and allies. His wife, Janet, played a key role in supporting soldiers and civilians under his command, while ensuring a stable home life for their 2 sons, Joshua and Zachary. He is forever indebted to her for her service to the nation. I now present General Donald Schenk.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Don, and thank you, Dottie, for your continued leadership in our synagogue and for lending Don to our efforts to honor and recognize all of our veterans and their families. Rabbi Starr, Rabbi Dahlin, Hazan Propus, Tanner Gutman, Dr. Rich, Mrs. Kozak-Klein, and members of Congregation Sher Tzedek, extended families, and friends. I am humbled and I am honored to be with you as we commemorate the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II and pay homage to the men and women of that greatest generation who preserved our world from tyranny. The best estimate is that 550,000 Jews served in uniform in World War II, and that on a per capita basis, Jews served at a rate greater than the prevailing rate of almost every city from which they hailed. Approximately 10,500 of these Jews gave their last full measure of devotion, having been killed on the field of battle. And an additional 25,000 were wounded, captured, or reported as missing. An estimated 52,000 awards for valor were made, including the Congressional Medal of Honor to Lieutenant Raymond Zussman of Congregation Sher Tzedek. We have every right, indeed every duty and obligation to honor these individuals every day, and especially today. As Chief of Staff of the Michigan Department of the Jewish War Veterans, I bring greetings from our department commander, Dr. Edward Hirsch, and our national commander, Jeffrey Sachs. They join me in asking that each of you watching today's program and listening to the words of our next speaker take some few moments to reflect upon what our nation asked of the men and women we honor today. And then, having soberly reflected on their courage and their sacrifice, pause from your schedule tomorrow and reach out to just one of them and say, thank you. Thank you for your service to the nation. Thank you for what you gave. Now, would you please tell me your story so that I might learn? And then, having listened and having learned, repeat that story to a young member of your own family so that they might share in the memory of those who went before them. Would you do that for them, for those we honor today, that their story might continue to live? Would you commit to doing that? Thank you. It is my privilege to introduce Captain Aaron Brumbaugh. Captain Brumbaugh is a member of this congregation and a decorated U.S. Army infantry officer with 2 combat tours in Afghanistan. He is a 2010 graduate of the University of Michigan. He is a member of Phi Beta Kappa, and he is a recipient of the George C. Marshall Award for Leadership. He expects to complete his professional studies at Wayne State University later this year. I cheated a bit and read his remarks, so I know what he is about to say. In my opinion, his words are powerful reminders to all of us. I ask that you listen carefully and judge for yourself. Captain Brumbaugh.
Thank you. I'm incredibly honored to be invited here to give remarks for Veterans Shabbat this year on the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. I am a former captain in the United States Army, deployed as an infantry platoon leader on 2 deployments during Operation Enduring Freedom with the Blue Spaders, the 1st Battalion of the 26th Infantry Regiment. So what is the significance of that affiliation? In World War I, the Blue Spaders fought across France, being awarded more campaign streamers than any other unit participating in that war. In World War II, we were part of Operation Torch, fighting and taking North Africa before crossing the Mediterranean and participating in the taking of Sicily during Operation Husky. When it was time for the Allies to storm the beaches of Normandy, the Blue Spaders were there as well, in the very first wave of the assault. They fought on from there, laying siege to the German city of Aachen, taking part in the Battle of the Bulge, and fighting into Czechoslovakia before the end of the war, earning the unit motto, Relentless Pursuit. We were there in Vietnam and in the Balkan Wars, deploying to Bosnia, Macedonia, and Kosovo. We were in Iraq, in Samarra, part of the Sunni Triangle, and in Baghdad, and then deployed multiple times to Afghanistan, including to the now infamous Korangal Valley, some of the hottest fighting of the Afghan War. And on another note, according to Marvel Comics, Captain America himself was originally a Blue Spader. If you doubt that, you can feel free to Google it at the conclusion of Shabbat. But why am I telling you all this? And why am I using the term we when, as many of you may suspect, I was not personally present at any of the World War II battles described? Well, in the military, we understand the importance of our history. The institutions of today's military were created and shaped by the heroes of the world wars. We feel the echoes of their contribution through everything we do, every tradition, and every lesson learned through hard warfare. We train in tactics and traditions that were formed in the time of the World War. At times, we were even quartered for training in facilities that don't appear to have been updated since the time of the World War. But all of this connects us to our unit's lineages, lets us feel the weight of trying to fill the footsteps of giants who came before us. As Jews, we're commanded to regard ourselves as if we were personally brought forth out of the land of Egypt. So, soldiers feel a direct connection to their individual unit history. I am privileged to be part of the continuing history of the Blue Spaders, but today's veterans in numerous battalions throughout the Army get to be part of similar stories. And in all of these stories, the Second World War holds a place of special distinction. It forms the cornerstone of military education and training to this day. And as young soldiers, when we learn about our unit histories, there is a very real sense of what incredibly big shoes we have to fill. So I'm here to express my gratitude as a soldier for fighting a campaign the magnitude of which is almost unimaginable, even to me, even as it paved the way for the modern institution of the military, which made me who I am today. But as Jews, the significance of this war is even greater. The heroes of World War II are responsible for overturning a true existential threat to the Jewish people and stopping the greatest act of mass murder in modern history. American soldiers liberated 5 of the concentration camps, and the American war effort was necessary for the liberation of the rest. There is truly a debt of gratitude for this from the Jewish people that can never be fully expressed or repaid. So again, I'm here to express my gratitude, this time as a Jew, for the gift of life given back to so many of our people. In addition to all of this, there's another special significance of the greatest generation that I feel as an American. In the times we live in, it is almost unimaginable to think of society coming together, taking on such a Herculean task as they took on. This generation emerged directly from the Great Depression and marched into one of the greatest wars ever fought. There was no excuse of hard times, just the country coming together and doing what needed to be done. Some of that sense of unity can be seen in the humble title of GI, standing for General or Government Issue. The soldiers of World War II embraced the term GI, carrying connotations of being a small part of something much bigger. So again, I'm here to express my gratitude now as an everyday American for showing us the way to put our egos aside and doing what you are called to do as part of something much greater. Truly, the greatest generation remains the template for the ideal American involvement. And while our procession may look different from other years, I'm glad that the congregation will have a chance to give a well-deserved thanks. The slideshow that follows, in lieu of a procession, features photos of veterans from our own community taken both during their military service and now, years later. I now present the Jewish War Veterans.
Army, first to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off our cadence loud and strong, 2, 3, for wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Marines, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. Navy, anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys. We sail at break of day. Go our last night on shore, drink to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy, joyous home. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home. Air Force. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force. For we live in fame or go down in fame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force. Coast Guard. Here's to the Coast Guard marching song. We fight on land and sea, through surf and storm and howling gale, high shall our banner be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame, our glory too. We fight to win or fight and die. Aye, Coast Guard, we are for you. We fight to win or fight and die. Aye, Coast Guard, we are for you. Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, America, America. If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend us still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, there's a pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend us still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.